Welcome, everyone. Before we dive in, be sure to check our previous videos, as well as drop your thoughts, feelings, and lessons in the comments. Like the video and subscribe so you never miss stories like this. Let's get into it. Before any scandal, before the think pieces and reaction videos, Marcus Reed's life looked like a highlight reel come to life. At 29, he was one of the biggest black content creators in the country. Storytime king, brand favorite, always trending without even trying. His loft in downtown Houston had floor-to-ceiling windows, soft morning light, and a wall of silver play buttons. He filmed inspirational clips in his kitchen, comedy sketches in his living room, and raw late-night talks from a balcony. Online, he was Uncle Mark, the big brother internet loved and trusted. Offline, Marcus was gentle, intentional, almost quiet. He took his mom to brunch every Sunday, still drove out to visit his high school coach, and slipped cash to kids selling candy in parking lots. He had a small, tight circle, 2 childhood friends on his team, a cousin as his manager, and a therapist he saw every other Thursday. For all the noise of the internet, his real life was calm, smooth, carefully protected. He kept boundaries like guardrails. He let people see a lot, but never everything. Until Tiana. Marcus met Tiana Brooks at Charity Gala in Dallas for black youth entrepreneurs. She walked in wearing a sleek emerald dress that caught the light like water, her coils pinned up in a soft crown. She was gorgeous in a way that felt deliberate, nails done, edges smooth, highlight glowing. When their eyes met across the room, her smile was bright but almost shy. He later learned she wasn't shy at all. She was calculating. But that first night, it just felt like chemistry humming loudly in a crowded room. Tiana had a modest following, around 50,000 on Instagram and 20,000 on TikTok. Compared to Marcus's millions, she was tiny, but she talked about beauty, lifestyle, and soft life on a budget. To him, she was refreshingly normal. She laughed at his corny jokes, sent him good morning texts with Bible verses, and cooked for him on Sundays when he did not go home. Their early dates were simple: bowling alleys, taco trucks, late-night drives with old-school R&B. For a while, their love felt untouched by cameras and comments. Marcus did not announce her immediately. He had learned the hard way that the internet felt entitled to everything. So at first, she appeared only in glimpses, her hand sliding into frame, her laugh from off-camera, a second wine glass on the counter. His followers speculated nonstop, of course, but he ignored it. Privately, he told Tiana, "When we're ready, we'll do this our way, not theirs." She nodded, nestling into his chest on the couch, tracing lazy circles over his t-shirt. "I'm not with you for the clout," she whispered. He believed her. As months passed, Tiana moved into his world more fully. She started coming to brand shoots, hanging out with his team, making herself at home in the loft. She filmed Little Day in My Life with My Man clips, mostly for herself, she said. Marcus did not mind. He liked seeing her excited, crafting aesthetic shots of his morning routine and latte art. When he finally soft-launched her with a quick kiss in a vlog, the internet exploded in heart emojis, comments like, "Finally," and "Protect her at all costs, king." That moment changed something subtle in Tiana. The video shot both of them up the algorithm for weeks. She gained nearly 100,000 followers in a month. Brands started dropping heart eyes in her DMs, and she realized the power of being Marcus's girlfriend. Her views tripled when he appeared in the background. Her followers began to ask for more of him waking up, more of them arguing playfully, more real behind-the-scenes content. The praise was intoxicating. It hummed in her chest louder than his quiet, private love. At first, it was harmless. A clip of Marcus singing off-key in the shower from down the hall, another of him tripping over a ring light cord, a montage of his bloopers. He laughed when she showed him, rolling his eyes. "You're really trying to ruin my image, huh?" She always kissed him after, promised she would never post anything without his okay. But late at night, when he fell asleep on the couch editing, she would scroll through comments. "We want the real Marcus. Show us what he's like off camera." Some of Tiana's followers were sweet, but others were sharp like glass. "Girl, if you don't expose his messy side, somebody else will. You sitting on a gold mine and acting shy. We tired of curated. Show us the ugly. Those comments lodged deep in her insecurities. She thought about all the hours Marcus spent editing, the deals he landed, the invitations he received. Meanwhile, she was still negotiating small sponsorships for hair gummies and discount candles. The gap between them felt like a cliff she needed to climb, fast, before the moment passed. Tiana started keeping her phone in recording mode more often. She told herself she was making memories, capturing their love, but slowly the intention shifted. She filmed him waking up groggy, fumbling for his glasses. She captured him snapping in frustration when a video corrupted after hours of editing. She recorded half of a disagreement about boundaries with his fans, conveniently starting only after he raised his voice. Each clip was a tiny piece of him out of context. Unedited, he looked human. Edited cleverly, he looked hypocritical. The first time she posted something without showing him first, it was a harmless prank. She startled him while he was on an important Zoom call with Brand, making a loud noise behind the camera. He jumped, cursed, then forced a quick laugh, tried to recover. The full call was fine. The deal went through. But online, she cut it so it looked like he lost his temper on the Brand rep. The video went viral, millions of views, thousands of stitches, people debating whether he was really so unprofessional. Marcus felt it immediately. His manager called, confused. "Did you approve that?" Brand reps emailed casually. "Ha, we saw the video. You're such a character." His fans argued in his comments, defending him, attacking him, begging for context. When he confronted Tiana, she pouted. "Babe, it's discontent. Everyone knows it is not that deep. Look at all the followers we both gained. I'm helping you stay relevant." He sighed, rubbed his temples, and told her gently, "I don't like my work being used as a joke. Ask me next time." Instead of receiving his boundary with humility, Tiana felt criticized, small. She opened her DMs and group chats to vent. Her friends, some jealous, some opportunistic, fanned the flames. Men like him get away with everything. You finally have some leverage. You better secure your bag while you can. Imagine how crazy his unfiltered moments must be. You could literally end him if he ever plays you. The idea sparked a dark curiosity in her. What would happen if she showed the world the rawest, most vulnerable pieces of Marcus? Tiana began to run polls in her Instagram stories. Should I post more unfiltered Marcus? And y'all want to see what he's really like off camera? Her followers hyped her up. Yes, expose Bay. We want the real tea, not the rehearsed stuff. Each response chipped away at her loyalty. She started seeing Marcus not as her partner, but as material, content, storyline, a character in the show where she was finally the main star. The more attention she got, the more she justified it. It is just the industry, she told herself. The next videos were worse. She posted a clip of Marcus venting privately about the pressure of staying positive online, snipping out the part where he thanked his audience and expressed love for them. In her edit, he sounded ungrateful, jaded, almost mocking his fans. Another video showed him pacing late at night, overwhelmed, saying he sometimes hated social media. The internet pounced. So we're just paychecks to him? He's fake. Knew it. His notifications flooded with disappointment. Marcus stared at the screen, feeling like his chest was caving in. He confronted Tiana again, this time less gently. "You recorded that without my knowledge. I was venting to my girlfriend, not performing for your audience." She folded her arms, chin tilted up. "Your audience is our audience now, and they want authenticity. You've built a brand on being real. This is real." He looked at her, really looked, and for the first time saw something cold behind her pretty eyes. "No," he said softly, voice breaking. "This is betrayal." She rolled her eyes, already planning her next story time as a content creator girlfriend. Behind his back, Tiana started framing herself as a long-suffering partner of a secretly arrogant influencer. In private group chats with fellow creators, she hinted at proof of his hypocrisy. Her followers begged for more receipts, dropped the screenshots, post a full breakdown. They did not care about his humanity, only the drama. Tiana's phone became a weapon she carried everywhere, always tilted slightly towards him. She filmed his smallest outbursts, his tired sighs, his mistakes. Some she posted, others she saved. In her mind, she was building a safety net of leverage. But Marcus was not naive. Years online had taught him that cameras were always watching, even in love. After the first unauthorized video, he upgraded his security, synced their shared cloud, and quietly backed up every file that mentioned his name. His cousin, who handled his business, urged caution. "I don't like her, Mark. Something feels off." Marcus, heart still stubbornly in love, replied, "I'm not going to treat my girlfriend like an enemy, but I'm not going to let her destroy everything I built either." He began gathering his own receipts. The breaking point arrived on a rainy Tuesday. Tiana uploaded a heavily edited compilation titled "The Real Marcus Reed, What Y'all Don't See." She posted it without warning, pairing it with a caption about finally telling her truth. The video stitched together his worst moments: frustration, exhaustion, sharp words, stripped of context, soundtracked by melancholy music. Within hours, it trended on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Reaction channels dissected every frame. Hashtags like hashtag Marcus Exposed and hashtag Fake Positive surfaced. Brands went quiet. Marcus watched it alone in his living room, his own home suddenly feeling hostile. For a few hours, he grieved. He let himself feel the humiliation, the violation of his privacy, the ripping open of parts of himself he had trusted her to hold gently. But once the tears dried, his mind sharpened. He replayed the video and noticed something Tiana had been too arrogant to consider: timestamps, reflections of the apartment layout, audio glitches. He had the original, uncut footage of many of those moments automatically backed up. He also had screenshots of her polls asking followers how best to humiliate him for content. Evidence of intent. Instead of clapping back angrily, Marcus called his team. They spent the night drafting a strategy, not a rant. "We do not feed the mess," his cousin insisted. "We tell the truth, calmly, completely." Marcus agreed. He scheduled a live stream and a pre-recorded video for the next day. In both, he decided to show the full clips Tiana had edited, from beginning to end, him encouraging his audience, thanking them, talking honestly about burnout and gratitude. He would speak about boundaries, consent, and the danger of turning real people into storylines. The next evening, Marcus went live. No background music, no flashy intro, just him in a plain black hoodie, eyes tired but steady. Hundreds of thousands joined instantly. He did not mention Tiana's name once. Instead, he talked about what it meant to live online, how creators were allowed to have bad days, how private venting should not be public currency, how authenticity did not mean having every breakdown filmed. Then he played the original footage, side by side with the edited clips, letting his viewers see the manipulation for themselves. The shift was immediate. Comments flooded in. "This context changes everything." "Wow, she really did you dirty." "I'm sorry for doubting you." People clipped his live, posting their own breakdowns of how editing can twist a narrative. Mental health advocates praised his vulnerability. Other creators shared their experiences of being secretly recorded and exploited for views. Brand reps slid back into his inbox, calling him a model of transparency and offering support. Ironically, Tiana's attempted takedown had created the perfect stage for him to reinforce the authenticity his audience already loved. Tiana watched from her phone, heart pounding as she saw the narrative she thought she controlled slipping through her fingers. Her DMs, once full of "expose him, sis," now filled with "this is foul, you cross a line, you weaponize his vulnerable moments." Her follower count, which had surged during the drama, plateaued and then began to drop. Brands that had reached out tentatively went silent or politely backed away. She tried to post a tearful explanation, but the comments were merciless. "Now you want privacy? You played yourself." Marcus, meanwhile, was quiet offline. He stayed off social media for 2 days after the live, spending time with his mom and niece, cooking, laughing, breathing. But he knew he had to close the chapter with Tiana, not just digitally but personally. He invited her to meet him in the small cafe where they had once sat in a corner booth, dreaming about their future. She arrived in oversized sunglasses and a sweatshirt. Makeup carefully done to look undone. Her phone was tucked in her sleeve, always ready. He noticed. "Before we talk," Marcus said, voice calm, "I need you to put your phone on the table, face down." She hesitated, then obeyed, lips pressed tight. He looked at her for a long moment, searching for the woman he had first fallen for. "I loved you," he began. "Not the brand, not the idea. But you turned my humanity into content and my vulnerability into leverage. That is not love. That's opportunism." Tiana's eyes filled with tears. "I was scared of being left behind," she whispered. "I wanted to matter like you do." "You already mattered to me," he replied softly. "But you chose strangers over us. You chose comments over my trust. I can't build a life with someone who sees my breakdowns as potential uploads." He slid a small envelope across the table. Inside were transfer confirmations, her name removed from joint brand proposals, contracts voided, any traces of her involvement cleaned up. No messy public dragging, no vindictive lawsuit. Just a clean, quiet separation. "We are done, Tiana. I forgive you, but I'm done." She sobbed then, shoulders shaking, finally realizing there was no second take. Months passed. Marcus's career not only survived, it flourished. He released a thoughtful series on digital boundaries, co-hosted a podcast with therapists about healthy relationships in the spotlight, and partnered with platforms to talk about consent in content creation. His following grew, but more importantly, it deepened. People trusted him more than ever, not because he was perfect, but because he handled imperfection with integrity. The scandal became a case study in media literacy rather than a stain on his name. He had been ahead of Tiana the entire time, just by telling the truth. Tiana's world shrank. The creators who once hyped her up quietly unfollowed. The group chats went silent. She still had followers, but they were fewer and they were wary. She tried to pivot to self-growth content, videos about lessons learned in karma, but her words felt hollow, even to herself. Late at night, she would scroll through old videos of her and Marcus laughing on the couch, see the softness in his eyes when he looked at her, and feel a sharp ache of regret. Fame had been a drug. She had chosen the high over the person. One evening, Marcus posted a simple video. No sponsors, no elaborate edits, just him on his balcony at sunset. "Protect the people who love you in private," he said. "And if someone shows you they value attention more than your heart, believe them the first time." The comments filled with stories from survivors of manipulative relationships, with thank yous, with quiet confessions. Somewhere in a small apartment across town, Tiana watched with tears streaming down her cheeks, understanding too late that his real power had never been his follower count. It was his character, and she had thrown it away. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a powerful story drop.